Okay, breaking news. This just came down the news wire courtesy of your friends and family over there at FS1, Fox Sports 1. They tweeted out their new fall lineup that's going to premiere sometime in September. A lot of old faces in different places, a lot of rearranging in shows. So let's just go and dissect what the new lineup is going to look like, shall we? The first show is going to be the Carton Show. This show is going to be similar to like Mike and Mike setup, where they're going to have this show in a radio booth, and they're going to have cameras in the radio booth, similar to like Mike and Mike. That's going to be the first show that's going to start off this new lineup. Then after that is the good folks over there at Undisputed. Nothing has changed over there at Undisputed. Skip is going to be there. Shannon Sharpe's going to be there. We still haven't found out anything on Shannon Sharpe's status on his contract with Undisputed. This might be the year where it's do or die for Shannon Sharpe as far as him being on Undisputed. We talked about that at length last week. Go check out that video from last week. I'm not going to go into it in this particular video. After Undisputed, it's The Herd Show. Colin Cowherd is going to be the host of The Herd Show, and I think Jason McIntyre is going to be the co-host of The Herd Show. Nothing's going to be changed. Undisputed and The Herd Show is going to have the same time slot like they had last year, okay? Then after that, it's going to be First Things First. Nick Wright is going to be the host of First Things First. Kevin Wilder is going to still be there. Chris Bouchard is still going to be there. Now, Jenna Wolf is going to depart from First Things First. She was on that show for 5 years. Still no word. I have no word on what Jenna Wolf is going to do. Is she still going to be with Fox Sports 1 or maybe at ESPN? Who knows about Jenna Wolf's future? But we do know she's not going to be the moderator of First Things First. They're probably going to streamline that and just have it similar to like PTI or the other show I seem to forget over there at ESPN. I rarely watch those shows anyway. Around the Horn. It might be similar to that, okay? Then after that is Speak for Yourself. Emmanuel Ocho as well as Joy Taylor is going to be the host of that show. We talked about this last week about Joy Taylor getting a promotion, having her own show, even though she has to share it somewhat with Emmanuel Ocho. Speak for Yourself has moved down in the time slot. And then after Speak for Yourself, you're going to have your rodeos and your car racing, drag racing, maybe some high school or collegiate football to fill up the rest of the day. And they're probably going to have reruns of these shows ad nauseum later on in the evening. Now, let's get into what I just talked about. I feel like the two bright spots of this is The Herd Show and Undisputed. They're going to keep their time slots. Nothing has changed other than Jason McIntyre is going to be a co-host with Colin Cowherd. I feel like that's the bright spot of this lineup. Now, the Carton Show, the executives over there at Fox Sports 1. Remember now, we talked about this last week on how they have a new regime over there. The regime that was with that hired Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharpe and Chris Broussard and Nick Wright. They are no longer there. So they're under new management, and new management has an invested interest in the Carton Show. That's going to be their baby. So we're going to have to wait and see how this show develops and how it's going to work. But that is the bright spots. Now, the same concerns I had for the lineup last year, I still have those concerns, unfortunately, this year. First things first, even though they moved it down in the afternoon, I feel like that's a dead man walking show. They're gonna have that in that time slot where PTI resides, where around the horn resides, and that's like sort of like early, late in the afternoon when breaking news go down. That's good for the show, however, but they're going to have to get their ratings and their clicks and views and share them with the ESPNs, the CBS, the NFL network, all the networks that have primetime shows in that time slot. I think first thing first is going to be like dead man walking. If it's do or die, it's either they're going to make it this year or they're going to cancel this show. The next show I feel like they have grown wary of is Speak for Yourself. The reason why they can't Speak for Yourself, the ratings are not that impressive, and they have changed the host and the co-host ever since this show has started. This show is on life support, and the only reason why it's getting a lifeline because it's one of Colin Cowherd's babies. They promised Colin Cowherd that he was going to have a morning show as well as an afternoon show. Even though Colin Cowherd has left, he's no longer featured in this show. He pretty much abandoned this show. It's still somewhat of his baby. And the new management, the new regime, is going to allow this show to an additional lifeline. But how long, we don't know. But I feel like with this new lineup, you can tell where they haven't invested interest in. The new Carton Show, that's the new regime's baby. The two shows that gets them the clicks and views and the money is Undisputed as well as the Herd show. So me personally, we're going to have to wait and see how all this transpires and goes down for Fox Sports 1. I don't think this lineup is better than the lineup of ESPN, even though a lot of people feel like Undisputed is the First Take killer, even though First Take is getting better ratings than Undisputed. People still imagine that show to be the First Take killer. They still don't have a very successful primetime or afternoon show that can compete with Around the Horn, PTI, and the 6 p.m. Sports Center. That's cause for concern over there at Fox Sports 1, and particularly if they want to dominate the afternoon market. That afternoon market still belongs and still resides for ESPN when it comes to sports entertainment. Okay, not to mention the fact they're going to have NBA basketball later on this year, as well as college and NFL football. So, Fox got a lot of stuff riding against them if they want to compete with ESPN. When I look at this lineup, I get the impression that Fox Sports 1 has waved the white flag, so to say. They're not in the competing business. They just want to share a lane with ESPN. I kept telling people ever since Fox Sports 1 was purging ESPN analysts and personalities, I kept telling people at the end of the day, ESPN has a great farm system and a lot of bright, bigger name sports analysts gravitate to ESPN. They have that working relationship with other media groups in sports entertainment. And not to mention the fact ESPN is still in more households than Fox Sports 1. Believe it or not, like it or love it or hate it, whatever. However you want to take this information. And those two things still reside even to today. I don't see Fox Sports 1 ever beating ESPN with either of these shows. Yeah, I think their highest rated shows are Undisputed and the Colin Cowherd show, but are they the highest rating when you're talking about competing against ESPN? No, but they are their highest rating. A lot of advertisers want to gravitate to those shows, and now they got other shows that can fill those time slots. And I just think, like I said, I'm not too sure about the Carton Show. The new big wigs over there are really invested into this show. We'll have to wait and see what the concept of this show is. But I get a sneaking suspicion the Carton Show is not going to match up well chemically balanced with The Herd and Undisputed. But that's just me talking. I'm just speculating. So yeah, that's the new lineup, guys. Comment in the comment section. Tell me what you feel, what you think. I'll read everyone's comment, and if I have time, I will comment back, or I will give you the face, letting you know that, hey, I'm in the place. I read your comment. Okay. But just to segue into the Shannon Sharpe situation, I feel like Fox Sports 1 is ultimately going to have Shannon Sharpe on an extension, and I think they have already figured out what they're going to utilize Shannon Sharpe for, and that's that afternoon lineup. I mean, they got a huge space in the afternoon space where they're not getting the ratings or the views there, and they just need that one personality, that one individual that has a hit show that can take over the afternoon time slot, or to at least compete with ESPN, particularly with the 6 p.m. Sports Center. It would not surprise me none. And you've been hearing whispers and rumblings that maybe Bayless is going to have an afternoon show as well as Undisputed. The Bayless show is more so a YouTube channel. I don't think they're going to officially make it an afternoon. I think they tried it and tested it and it didn't test very well. So I feel like with these new guys, they feel like they need a fresher, younger face. And even though Shannon Sharpe is not that young, not by the stretch of the imagination, I feel like something new, heading their afternoon lineup would take some of the ratings, some of the clicks and views away from ESPN on the afternoon lineup. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Guys, tell me what you think. I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.